right. So welcome and thanks for being here tonight for this mindfulness workshop. And tonight's topic will be, it is happiness. So it's really being happy every single day. And I know some people like that are just overly happy. And I personally am a little envious of that sometimes because I'm not always happy. So it's something that I've definitely worked on over my years. And as I've become more aware that I wasn't very happy. So I've changed some things and been mindful about it. And I found that I have much more happiness in my life. So I'm just going to go through a few things this evening. You're welcome to chime in and talk if you'd like, or you can just listen. So like I said, today we're going to talk a bit about being happy every single day. And this little reading I have here about being happy every single day. Discover something daily that makes you happy and become witness to your life transforming. Our lives are rich with potential sources of happiness. But sometimes we become victims of negative thinking because we believe that focusing on all that has gone wrong will provide us with the motivation we need to face the challenges of survival. When we choose to focus on what makes us happy, however, a shift occurs in the fabric of our existence. Finding something to be happy about every single day can help this shift take place. The vantage points from which we view the world are brought into balance, and we can see that being alive truly is a gift to be savored. There is always something we can be happy about. It is simple up to us to identify it. On one day, each day, we may find happipiness in life-changing events such as a marriage or a birth of a child. On another day, the happiness we experience may be a product of our appreciation of a particular well-brewed cup of coffee, tea, or the way the sun shines on our face. If we discover that we literally cannot call to mind a single joyful element of existence, we should examine the cause of the blockages standing between us and the experiencing of happiness. Keeping a happiness journal is a wonderful way to catalog the happiness unfolding all around us, the joy that myriad opportunities to manifest itself into our lives. Writing about the emotions we experience while contemplating joy may give us insight into factors compelling us to resist it. Happiness may not always come easily in our lives. You have likely been conditioned to believe that the proper response to unmet expectations is one of sadness, anger, guilt, or fear. To make joy of a fixture in your existence, we must first accept that it is within our power to choose happiness over unhappiness every single day. Then, each time you discover some new source of happiness, the notion that the world is a happy place will find its way more deeply into your heart. On this day, find one thing to be happy about and let it fill your heart. And that is by Madison Taylor. She is a writer that I follow quite a bit, and she always has some good things to say. So I read that about a week ago, and that's what I really wanted to talk about this evening, because in our world that we have right now, there is so much negative energy with the politics, the election coming up, COVID, kids going back to school. I've been working with a lot of different teachers and trying to find some happiness amongst all of this chaos that we have going on. So, when Madison talked about a journal, so I journal every single day, morning and night, typically. And so what I do is each morning I'm mindful, of course, and then I try to be present always, letting go of what I can't change. And I try to do that all the time. So if there's something that, if I'm irritated with the weather, just letting go of what I cannot change. But I set my intentions every single day. I journal morning and night after my meditation. So in the morning, what I do is I list different tasks that I have for the day. Some of those tasks are things that are super simple, but they bring me joy, as in my first cup of coffee. I love it, love it, love it. It's probably one of my top things of the day that I enjoy, and it really brings me joy. So that's one sure way. If you know some things that make you feel good, that you really enjoy, write those down. And as you cross those off or do those every day, the crossing off is going to help you feel accomplished, but also it's going to help you to recognize mentally that you do have some happiness when sometimes it feels like stuff's kind of piling on us. In the evening, I list 3 to 5 things that made me happy on that day. And once again, they can be super minor things. But this last weekend, I had probably 15, 20 things in my journal every night about all the different things that made me happy, the different feelings I felt, the experiences with my family, the laughs, the cries, just all the fun things that happened. And I think it's important to write some of those things down, because I'm sure there will be a time in the next maybe week or whatever month where I'm not super happy. So I'm going to go back to Saturday and Sunday of last week, and I'm going to reread those things. And that will help to bring those good memories up. This is one of my journals, Thoughts and Dreams. And I have many different journals, but I have one next to my bed. I have one in my car. I have one in my work bag. Because sometimes what I do is I write down just things during the day that brought me joy. Today I had some clients that I met with, and for them to see that they've been changing their life and are living a very healthy, happy lifestyle, that brings me joy. It brings me so much joy that I get to do this every day. And then there's some days where it seems like every one of my clients are struggling and they're having a tough time, whether it's sticking with this plan or they're sad with their life. So sometimes that makes me a little sad that I wish I could do, this plan for them when I have to let go of what I can't change. And a lot of times that's other people. I can't make them do something that they're not willing to do for themselves. So, listing these things that, let's see. So I list 3 to 5 things every day that made me happy or brought me joy. So listing the things that may have a negative emotion. So I try not to do that, but I think it's important to recognize it and think about it, because sometimes the thing that makes me super upset or sad or have that negative emotion is really pretty ridiculous. So I think it's important to bring those things to mind. And then I think about, sometimes that negative emotion, and then I think about how I could make that positive by kind of looking at the silver lining. And, if it's, there's certain things, I don't like to do laundry, but I love having clean clothes. I don't like cleaning my house, but I love when my house is all clean. So just whatever that negative thought is, or that negative thing that you have going on maybe in your life, try to pick it apart just a little bit and find that positive or that silver lining within that. And as we do these little techniques and these little things that I'm telling you, we'll find that being happy is so much easier if we don't resist it, and if we bring that thing to the frontal cortex of our mind and just simply think about it. So I have on here 7 keys to happiness. So practicing mindfulness, and that is what I really try to incorporate with all my clients, with myself, with my children. So like I said, I meditate daily, and I concentrate on the here and now. So a simple way to do that is, because a lot of people say to me, well, Dusty, I can't meditate. I don't know how to do it. I feel like I'm doing it wrong. And I think if we, sometimes we look on social media and we see this beautiful woman in her beautiful little yoga room and, just so peacefully sitting. And that's not reality most of the time. So mine is my dog's near me, and I have to sometimes get out of my meditation, and the room maybe isn't super clean, but I have worked on this. It's a practice, it's a meditation practice. So some days I'm better at it than others, but just a simple thing to do is find a comfortable place to sit. It can be on your couch, on your bed, on your favorite chair, outside on a bench. And then I'd like you to set a timer on your phone for 5 minutes. Super simple, just for 5 minutes. And then close your eyes, relax your shoulders, let go of tension in your body, and then relax your jaw, and then bring to mind the rate of your breathing. So just noticing your breathing, the inhale, filling the lungs, and also the exhale, all the air leaving the body. You can also think about a memory, a positive memory with a person, maybe an old friend or somebody that you had some great memories with. You can think about a positive word. You can think about maybe when you were a child with a favorite grandparent. I remember I oftentimes will think about my grandma because she was always happy and always really cared so much about us grandkids, and she made me so happy. So if I'm having an icky day, I think about my grandma a lot of the time. Another thing that you can do is exercise. So exercising regularly makes you feel better about yourself, just in general, but it also produces positive hormones within your body. Those endorphins are produced, and when you work out for just 15 minutes. So right now we have this little challenge going, and it's just a 15 minutes of exercise each day. And I have just been super happy at seeing, the messages I get daily of everyone telling me, walking their dog or walking with their kids or doing a video. And it just brings me joy to know that you're living a healthier lifestyle. I know personally, I have to be active every day, not necessarily for my physical body, but for my mental state. I have to. It's something that I've learned about myself. So I do a minimum of 15 minutes of some sort of cardio every day, but then I also meditate for a minimum of 5 minutes, maybe 30 minutes or even an hour. And then I have a yoga practice. So those things I know are crucial to me. It's like air to me. Exercise is a need, a necessity for me. Surrounding yourself with positive people. So this is kind of interesting to think about, but we are most like the 4 or 5 people we hang around with the most. So kind of thinking about that, and with your friends, I know some people, with our family, we can't change that, but hopefully if you're the average of those 4 or 5 people, are you putting off a positive energy and positive love and light? So kind of thinking about that and who you're hanging around. And, I had somebody say to me at one time, well, I don't want to lose them as a friend. Well, you don't have to lose them as a friend or not hang around them. Maybe just not quite as much if they are making a negative impact on you emotionally. And just thinking about those people, if they're positive or if they are like life suckers. I've had those in my life. And I've been that also. I have been that person very much. Listening to music. So making a playlist of songs that remind you of a happy time in your life. Maybe when you were a kid, hanging out with your favorite family member. There's certain songs that remind me of my grandmother and my dad, and those are happy songs. A song maybe from high school, and then your favorite dance song. So making that little playlist, if you're just having a bad day on your way home from work, you can put that playlist, like my happy playlist, call it whatever you want, and put that on your speakers in your car and listen to that. A lot of times that will trigger some positive memories and it will change your mindset. Getting outdoors and enjoying the weather. So here we are in Iowa, and we have lots of changes in the seasons. So unless it's 20 below, I love being outside. I don't love the cold as much as I used to, but I think it's important to get outside at all seasons and embrace the weather, Mother Nature, and having that little connection with the earth. So with just positive energy, everything's vibrating. So the earth is vibrating, my voice is vibrating. We all put off a positive or a negative energy. We're all putting that energy off. So if you can go and find, maybe a beautiful place, like say where there's a bunch of trees, or a beautiful cornfield, or the grass is perfectly mowed and nicely mowed. Putting a blanket down and just feeling. I like to lay down, and then I like to look up at the sky, whether it's summer, fall, winter, spring, and I watch the clouds and I feel all my emotions. So I notice the earth beneath me. I notice the air movement around me, notice all that I'm seeing and hearing. And I just really connect with nature, and it helps me to be in a positive mood. I don't know what it is, and if it's, Mother Nature or Mother Earth beneath me or what it is, but it really, really does help. So getting outside and getting in nature can help with that positive attitude. So finding a peaceful place, sitting down, bring all your senses to mind and notice what you're feeling, seeing, smelling, hearing, tasting. And then another one I have here is accepting yourself as you are. So I say this often, and I remind myself of this often, but just that. You're unlike anyone on this planet. So of the billions of people, there's no one like you. And that is pretty awesome. So I think to embrace that and embrace all that you are as a human, as a woman, as a man, whatever you are, whoever's listening to this. But I think a lot of times we, on social media maybe, or on TV, or, just in different, on Facebook or whatever, we look at different people sometimes, and I'm guilty of this. And I've thought, like, what am I doing wrong? Why isn't my house like that? Or why they look so happy? That couple looks so happy, when in all honesty, I'm happy too. So I think a lot of times we compare to other people, and it takes away our own personal joy. So knowing just how perfectly made that you are. So always remember that. So accepting yourself as you are. There's no comparison to who you are as a person, and you are perfectly made. So finding time for yourself daily. So I know with some of us, now that my kids are older, it's much easier for me, but I know, if you have children in school, and now with some of the kids not going back to school, you trying to work from home, kids are at home, you have the housework and all these different things, it can be really, really difficult for you to find that private time, to find some time for yourself. So, just something, try to block some time off daily, even if it's 5 minutes, just to sit and breathe and relax your shoulders and be at peace. But if that's not possible daily, I hope you can, but if not, blocking out some time, like maybe a half hour once a week, where you can do something that brings you pure joy. For me, I love getting pedicures. It's one of my favorite things, and it is a way that I treat myself. And I love, in the summer, this month of July, I love a kid's cone with sprinkles on it, vanilla with sprinkles. So that is something that I really enjoy. I love to work out, so that is blocking some time out for myself. Let's see here, what else did I put? So a walk in nature, a massage, pedicure, visiting with a good friend on the phone, watching your favorite movie, and I love chick flicks. So that's something that I sometimes do by myself because my husband does not like them, and I find, joy in that, and that makes me happy. So trying to find that time daily, if not daily, at least once a week. You definitely deserve it. So as we continue to find this happiness, first and foremost, we have to decide that we want to be happy. And a lot of people that I coach and come in contact with, they resist it. They tell me about what's going on in their life, and I try to put a spin on it, a positive spin, and then they're fighting it. They're just fighting it all the way. So really putting that guard down and deciding what you really want. If you really want happiness in your life. So you have to choose to be happy, and then changing your state of mind to distract from the sadness. I know it's, we all have sad things that have happened in our life, but trying not to fixate on it and focus on it often. Visualizing. So convince yourself that you are on the right track to finding happiness. Visualize the best version of yourself and work for it. So that is also what I do when I manifest. So when I'm meditating daily, all that I have here in my studio and really in my life, even back to almost 6 years ago now, I dreamed and wished and prayed and thought a lot about, like, how am I going to get sober? How am I going to make this change? And I had to make that decision. I decide, and then I had to go through some different steps in order to find my recovery, find sobriety. But along with that came happiness. So I had to visualize it. So I visualized, once in each year, I set goals for myself, and I go back to those goals and I visualize all these different things. And it's been pretty awesome because they've all, not all, but most of them have been coming true. So visualizing yourself and your happy, in your best version of yourself. develop. So cultivate happiness by developing an optimistic outlook. Optimism brings positive change to our mind so that we can overcome issues. Also, show your compassion and develop the skills to deal with negativity. Challenge your negative thoughts and never allow them to control your mind. Easier said than done, I know that. But once again, we have, it's up to us mentally. So we have approximately 60 to 90,000 thoughts that go into our, go through our mind daily. And oftentimes about 85-90% of those thoughts are the same as yesterday. So if you are a negative person, if you don't mentally change those neurotransmitters in your brain and your thought, you're going to continue to be negative and unhappy. So thinking, visualizing it, deciding it, cultivating it, and you can change your state of mind. You're in control of it. The next one is forgiveness. This one is super difficult for me, and it took me a long time to forgive some people in my life. And this little statement here is, I feel, just perfect. So forgive yourself no matter how bad your mistake was. And that was, in order for me to forgive others, I had to forgive myself for some of the things in my life that I have done that I'm not happy about. And unfortunately, I can't change some of those things, but I can just move on and not continue to make those mistakes that I did in my past. If you have realized it and now want to take a fresh start, forgive it and forgive yourself. Don't make your past ruin your present. So forgiveness can definitely be difficult, but oftentimes try to forgive others no matter what they did to you. To forgive someone is not for them, it is for you and your inner peace, your own peace of mind. That can lead you to happiness. The next thing is appreciate. So Friedrich Koenig once said, "We tend to forget that happiness doesn't come as a result of getting something we don't have, but rather of recognizing and appreciating what we do have." So, I think the simplest person, I have some very simple friends with not a bunch of money, but they are super happy and content with what they have. I mean, we all see this with movie stars that have all this money and all this access, but they're so unhappy. And we see, unfortunately, the suicide rate is high, and amongst people that have a lot of money. So it's not buying them happiness, but really just appreciating what we have and finding happiness in our everyday lives. Choosing wisely, treat yourself well, and do the things that you love. Super simple. Really treating yourself well, like doing the things that you love, whether it be something that others maybe don't find that they really like. You have to do what's best for you and your mental state. Last but not least, it's not complicated. To find happiness is simple. Anything from the chirps of the birds to a bandstand can make you happy. Even snowfall or childhood memories, or just a fun memory with your siblings or with your family. It's really right here, and definitely can be done. So that is really basically what I have. My biggest, takeaway from that is my top medication is meditation. So if you want to learn more about meditation and how to do it, and kind of what it is not, let me know and I can help you with that. Also, a little journal. Find a fun little journal. Like I said, I have a ton of them. And write down your thoughts. Write down the things that make you happy, and it will make you happier tomorrow because your thoughts are happy today. Does anyone have any questions at all? Anything you can think of? All right. Well, if you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out. This is recorded, so if anybody wants this recording, I can send it to you. And just really try to look at the right side of things, and it is there. So I'm going to end with this little reading, and one moment here while I pull it up. And I took a course through COVID. It was with with Betsy Rippentrop, and she's one of my mentors. I just adore her. And this was one of the readings that she shared with us. So, according to an old Hindu legend, there was once a time when all human beings were gods, but they so abused their divinity, their essence, that Brahma, the chief god, decided to take it away from them and hide it where it could never be found. Where to hide their divinity, their essence, their wisdom was the question. So Brahma called a council of all the gods to help him decide. Let's bury it deep in the earth, said the gods. But Brahma answered, no, that will not do, because the humans will dig into the earth and they will find it. Then the gods said, let's sink it in the deepest ocean. But Brahma said, nope, not there, for they will learn to dive into the ocean and they will find it. Then the gods said, let's take it to the top of the highest mountain and hide it there. But once again, Brahma replied, no, that will not do either, because they will eventually climb every mountain and once again take up their divinity. Then the gods gave up and said, we don't know where to hide it, because it seems that there's no place on earth or in the sea that human beings will not eventually reach. Brahma thought for a long time and then said, here is what we will do. We will hide their essence, their wisdom, their happiness, their divinity, deep within the center of their own heart, for humans will never think to look for it there. All the gods agreed that this was the perfect hiding place, and the deed was done. And since that time, humans have been going up and down the earth, digging, diving, climbing, and exploring, searching for something already within themselves. So that happiness that we're searching for is right here. And it might take you a little time to find it, but it is there, and I wish you luck with it. I have a few different books that I recommend. Resisting Happiness is a good one. It is faith-based, so if that's not for you, I have some other ones that I recommend. All that I teach here and promote and my studies are all, in, yes, Western medicine, but also in Chinese medicine. And these different modalities, these holistic modalities have helped me so hugely, and I highly recommend them all. So I offer a lot of these treatments here, but I also offer insight to different books and different things that have really helped me. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out, and I hope you have a happy evening. I'll talk to you guys soon.